The partnership wasn't working, and to such a degree that personally I couldn't go on like that, and we would have to either, and I wasn't about to just walk away from the business and lose everything that I had in it or had coming to me, whichever the case may be, or both.
It was a very stressful period where Ron and I just had disagreements about everything. And we, on our own, really couldn't come to an agreement.
Mentally, I don't know, it was like being in and I never was, but seeing other people, like a real bad marriage, you know, how do you get out of this, or almost like in jail where you're not free, you know. It was just, you know, really crammed in there, and, you know, a deep hole that you almost can't crawl out of, you know. Something's got to really happen, because it's going to come tumbling in on me, and I don't want that. Either I'm going to have a nervous breakdown or a heart attack, and I don't want either one of them. So that's the before.
We were fire-breathing dragons some days, and other days it was just cold and you just didn't talk. Probably not that long. I think it, like anything, it sort of gradually over time deteriorates to a point where it gets to that. I don't think there was any particular incident that caused that. But it had probably been getting worse and worse for a year or so, to the point where, you know, it was really, we needed to do something about it. I could look around and say, this really is not very conducive to harmonious feelings within the office and getting business done. It was not good at all. It just takes way too much time out of your life to be in that state, so I had to do something about it.
I kind of deep down thought that because of the goodness in her heart and the goodness in my heart, we would be able to resolve it. You know, it might start off kind of a rough road, but when it really get down to the you know, the bottom of the barrel, you know, we would be able to iron it out. Because otherwise it could have been a nasty thing and have to get attorneys and maybe even go to court, and you know, the attorneys would be the winners, not us, you know.
It was really a willingness to at least dig around a bit, find out what the problem is, and see how we could resolve it so that it would be a much better relationship, because it affected everything. It affected the company, it affected his life with his family, it affected me with my family, so it was just a very, it had just gotten to the point where, okay, it's painful to look at this, but it's better than the alternative of not really doing anything about it. We needed help. Nitsan was kind in his questions, but very direct, and really required me to think about my own behavior and why I was doing the things I was doing that were not very conducive to the business. And I think, looking back on it now, if I had met him earlier on, it probably would have been a much easier process than it ended up being, because it wasn't, if you start earlier when you feel that you're having problems rather than waiting several more years for them to get really, really bad, I think the process would be so much easier, and it would not be quite as hurtful to yourself and to your family and to your business associates and your partners and everyone else, because you gradually get into a negative feeling about yourself and about everything else around you. And if you get intervention, so to speak, much earlier on, it doesn't get so destructive. Because I think with us, it just got to the point where it was destructive. And we never should have allowed to let it get that way, but neither did we really know where to turn for help. So.